Okay. Oh, God. Hey! It is the Vegan Steven podcast! Oh! We're getting ready to go. We're getting ready to go live everywhere. Everywhere. Any absolute moment. Can you believe it? I don't know if I can. Oh God, the pressure. This is first thing Monday morning. The time is 11:04. 11:04. And what is the date? The date is the 18th. The 18th of the 11th. And this is just press the button there, which means we're going live on the Instagram. What was it? Looking on the gram, but I don't even likes. Trying to live my life right. Looking for anxiety. I'm just quoting someone else there. Alright, here's a little tune. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but anyway, here we go. I just wanna stay here like Sunday morning. I'm just so full of fear, can barely function. Wake your ass up. Your hours up, stop crying, mental health's expensive. The suicide cover up, the government's corrupt. GPC money pushing drugs on me. When you're sensitive and it's legal, it's hard to say no to. Billboards being irresponsible, selling emotional escape, gambling, alcohol and vape, and it's all okay if it's taxable. I just wanna stay here like Sunday morning. Thanks for listening. I'm just so full of fear, can barely function. Wake your ass up. Your hours up, stop crying, mental health's expensive. The suicide cover up, the government's corrupt. GPC money pushing drugs on me. When you're sensitive and it's legal, it's hard to say no to. Billboards being irresponsible, selling emotional escape, gambling, alcohol and vape, and it's all okay if it's taxable. Mrs. Master's degree. Stop your overcharging fees. I'm trying to stay clean, learn CBT. Trying to avoid a cycle of heroin in prison, and all you wanna give me is a prescription addiction. I just wanna stay here like Sunday morning. I'm just so full of fear, can barely function, and oh, the drugs were a dead-end job. I've been robbed. Oh, the drugs were a dead-end job. I've been robbed, and I just wanna stay here like Sunday morning. It's the Vegan Steven podcast. That is one of my new songs. It's called Sunday Morning. And ladies and gentlemen, what is it about? It's about being in your comfort zone. Being in your safe place, my safe place. Alright, so we got a little bit of disclaimer going on here. It's first thing Monday morning at the crack of, was it 11:08? Alright, here we go, baby. It's freezing today in Ireland, absolutely freezing, but we'll get into the weather shortly. This is the Vegan Steven podcast. It's a parody of a podcast. Vegan Steven is a fictional character. All guests are allegedly fictional characters. Even those based on real people are entirely fictional. I'll celebrity voices are impersonated, baby. Poorly, the following program contains coarse language and due to its content should not be viewed by anyone. Should it be viewed by a dog? No, not by anyone. Should it be viewed by your dead grandmother? No, not by anyone. No one is to watch this. Should it be viewed by your daughter who's 20? No, they have to be 21. Alright? This program will corrupt you. I'm just here to try and sell you stuff. I am the living embodiment of Satan. Oh, Jesus. So, and I'm not the kind of lad who lets but my dog loves it. Oh, Billy Jones, how are you getting on? I'm delighted to have you with us, man. I'm always delighted. Okay. If any of the listeners have any questions they'd like asked or looked at, just DM me on Instagram or somewhere. Okay, here we go, baby. Vegan Stephen Podcast, the #1 podcast promoting positive mental health. It's not just for vegans, it's every day. I am your host, Vegan Stephen. We are live everywhere. We are fucking live on YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, all the places that you want to get your podcasts. I am there, and even if you miss one, I think we got a backlog of something crazy, like 30 or 40 episodes, all they're waiting to go. We got the fucking Vegan Stephen business course if you want to earn a few extra euros. We got the Vegan Stephen music course if you decide that you want to start playing music. And if you want to buy a guitar, you can get Create Now music. If you want to get a new hat, I sell those too. Alright, what are we on? We're time recording, we're everywhere, today's date. So we're going to talk about your safe place, your safe zone, okay? Which is, as Dwayne The Rock Johnson says, he's one of those kind of film stars. He's kind of like taking over Arnold Schwarzenegger's place. He says, your safe place is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. Alright? And I just sang a little song there, and what the song is about is when you just kind of want to stay in your safe place, you just want to stay in bed, and maybe you're into having a pint or whatever you're into, or a smoke, whatever you do to help ease, the stress of fucking being alive. And it's only when you go out of your comfort zone that you'll start to reach success. For example, like I was practicing drums 2 hours a day, practicing singing an hour a day, practicing, what else was I doing? I was literally like putting all my energy into becoming the best musician anyone's ever fucking seen or heard of, and I was just like, right, I'm gonna do this. And nobody wanted to buy my music and so on. Because I didn't have my branding, I didn't have a story behind it. I needed a story people can get into, like X Factor and all the rest of it. And because even if my music was the best music ever, why would anyone care? They already have the best music ever. They already listen to James Blunt or Elton John or someone. So that's where branding comes in. So it doesn't necessarily... The thing which I've had to learn in life is to get out of your safe zone, you need to involve other people in your ideas. All right, so I've always had a lot of trouble communicating with people and conveying my ideas, and there would always be fights because they would say something like, oh, Vegan Stephen, you don't appreciate us or whatever, and I thought that me constantly smiling going, oh, you're fucking class, everything, was me saying thanks, but it wasn't. Their idea of me saying thanks was like, listen, thank you, and here's a card that says thank you. It's mad. I just couldn't fucking communicate with people, and that drove me into, like more isolation and more getting perfect at my instrument, when in fact I was already like too good at my instrument, and all I needed to do was learn how to brand it to make my product accessible to the average person. Because if someone hears like if someone here's a cup of coffee. Why does everyone like Starbucks? It's the branding. It's safe, it's consistent, and that's what people want from a product. They want Vegan Stephen, but they want a consistent Vegan Stephen every day. All right. So a reason someone might want to stay in their safe place is to avoid stress. Maybe they want to go for a sleep or something. Jeff Bezos, who's the head of Amazon, evil man, says that anxiety happens when you don't take action. Alright? And when I heard that, that was like the day before I started my podcast, and I was like, fuck, Jeff Bezos, do you mean that if I just work on the stuff that stresses me out, I won't be stressed out? And it fucking worked. I was terrified of, going on camera, talking to people. Like, what if I let off what if I fart or something, what if my old teacher sees me, like all these fucking mad things. And once I got out of my safe zone, I stopped being terrified. I stopped having this, crippling fear of being on social media. I had this fucking fear of, what if I post something on Instagram or something and fucking people, there's a whole fucking movement against me or something. So it's all about when you come out of your safe zone. Like, think about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's fucking Mr. Universe or some shit. He could have been the strongest, biggest man in the world, but no one would even know about it unless he went to the competition and fucking oiled himself up or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can be the best in the world, but no one's gonna fucking know unless you go out. And do you know, but when you're watching X Factor, you're like, oh, I could sing better than those people on TV. Oh, I can act better than those people. Oh, and maybe you could, but you're in your safe zone. You're in your house watching it from TV. They're actually fucking doing it, put their reputation on the line. And you know what? You can do it and do it better than them, but you've got to leave your safe zone. Alright? I love nothing better than my safe place, man. It's fucking gorgeous. I love it. Nothing's gonna attack me. And I get it. I was attacked a lot of times and beaten up and robbed and knocked out and all the rest of it. And I didn't want to leave my house and stuff. But just like with the how your personality will deteriorate if you don't come in contact with other humans, your business ideas and so on will get off track with society and what people want, because you're going down this fucking rabbit hole. And if you don't constantly check in with the outside world, you'll lose perspective on where you are going and your place in the fucking world. Now, the easy option is to just get a job and have your boss fire you if you show up late for work. You know what I mean? Like, that's the easy way. Just get a job and have then if you show up late you get fucking fired or something. But the real fucking skill is being responsible for your own fucking life and your own fucking shit. So instead of your boss ringing you up going, you're fired, you gotta get yourself out of the bed, otherwise you won't get to eat that day. And that's the fucking joy of being self-employed and putting your life on the line and so on. Now, some people say, oh, leaving your safe place is dangerous, but you know what? If you're going to... I can tell you a story, okay? Alright. The place I went to college, right? There's this place... I really don't want to say this. Okay, I'll have to make up a load of names. Alright? So this is an example of people staying in their safe zone, okay? Alright, I'll just fucking say it. Loads of people I went to school with, college, there's a bird on the roof or a giant squirrel. They spent 4 years studying music, okay? 4 years of their life. They obviously liked it. And then they left, they got their degree, and then a lot of them were like, fuck it, I'll do a master's in music. And they got a master's in music. Now, side note, I'd interviewed a lot of the people on a personal level, these people with masters, and I realised they knew fuck all about how to make an album. So I was like, I'm not interested in doing your masters because I know exactly what I want, and this masters seems like bullshit. So what happened is everyone did their degree in music, their masters in music. They finished, and then they were like, fuck, I need a job, I need money. I have all this knowledge. I'm one of the smartest, people in Ireland on academia level at music as far as people's pieces of paper are concerned, and none of them really got a job. Some of them are better musicians than me. Some of them are way better at loads of things than me. But here I am in front of the camera doing my own podcast. Why? Because I moved out of my safe place and I'm doing a podcast every day. I'm putting my reputation on the line. Now, what's the flip side of that? people who did even better than me in college, what are they doing? They are working in a call center environment, which is, like they do customer service on the phone or whatever. And the point I'm trying to convey is that wasn't where they wanted to be or whatever. Like they saw that as a safe income, and they're after letting their safe place fuck up their ambitions and so on. Then you get into a habit, like, oh, I hate my job, I have to fucking drink a pint, and then they're like, oh, I have to pay the rent, I need this job, and so on. Whereas if it's just that safe place, and I'm sure to them their job, in the call center is anything but safe, and they hit my head or something. But it's just people are ready to go 90% of the way, and then they fucking give up instead of go like that extra 2% or something. And that's all the things. This camera looks suspiciously foggy. Alright. We're just gonna see how this is working. Oh, baby, please don't let me go. Oh. See your safe place, man. It's just like, Arnold Schwarzenegger was talking yesterday, quote me, he was like, a lot of people can't handle the pain of, tearing the muscle, or what it takes on a daily basis to be a bodybuilder. They can't go through the pain threshold, do you know what I mean, in order to be the fucking best. And for me, the pain threshold of starting your own business is the pain, instead of having the physical pain of you're having your muscles tear, the actual mental pain of what is going on with the camera? Why is the camera all fucking foggy? Okay, we'll just keep going. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Alright, I just gotta... Jesus. What is going on with the camera? Alright, we'll just keep going. I don't know what the fuck's going on with the camera. Sorry. Excuse me, people at home. Yeah, it's pretty much more risky putting your life in a telecommunications company, because they can fuck off. If they get a better deal, they're gonna fuck off to fucking India or China or wherever the fuck, they can get a lower wage, and all that crack. Sorry, I'm getting very distracted by these technical difficulties here with the... Sorry. I think what happened was it's a very frosty day outside. I think the camera's after getting some water in it, and now the fucking lens has to burn off the steam or something. I don't know. I'm not quite sure on the mechanics of convex lenses and stuff, but oh baby, I've had enough, my love, of working in your call center, yeah. Oh darling, I've had enough, yeah, of your safe zone in my world. Oh, I did a master's degree, and now there's no job for me. Oh, I'm living in my safe zone now. I'm living in my safe zone. I'm living in my safe zone, doing what my dad and his dad did before him. I'm being very general and harsh, quite harsh here. Sure, look. Man, what is going on with my fucking camera? It's absolutely fucked. Alright, sorry. Oh god. Alright, so we might talk about one of my top boys. I really want to talk about him, but we can't because the fucking laptop died. Okay, focusing. Safe zone, okay? Now a lot of people, such as myself, didn't have the pleasure of having a safe zone because they were fucking shit at school and so on, so they had to fucking do whatever they had to do. What is going on with my fucking camera? Okay, sorry. I'm just getting very thing. Okay, so Thomas Edison. Okay, Thomas Edison. Many people think he was the greatest inventor of all time, and we'll get into that in the details. He had people like Nikola Tesla working for him, and so on. Now, what did Edison do? I know pretty much his life story inside out, because I've been studying him from a young age. But let's go into some mad shit he used to do. Okay, he was one of the inventors of the telephone up there with Alexander Graham Bell and so on. But funny, and his motto, one of his taglines for selling the product was, if it works so well that even I can hear it, because he was nearly deaf. We're talking about the telephone here. And how he became deaf was he was working on the railroads, and he pissed off one of his employers on the railroads, and the employer lifted him up by his ears, and he heard something like rip, and he was never able to hear it properly since then. So that's what happened to Thomas Edison's hearing. And he became so unable to hear that Thomas Edison, what the fuck do you do? He used to have to talk to his wife by tapping Morse code on his wife's leg, and then she used to tap back to him using Morse code. So it just goes to show, like, you can do anything the fuck you want. This is possibly before sign language, I don't really know, but they used to tap to each other in Morse code. How fucking good is that? And other shit they used to do was, Thomas Edison used to work at the patent office. Okay, so what is Thomas Edison, sorry, if anyone doesn't know, he's a big inventor. He helped invent the light bulb. He invented DC electricity. He was a tireless self-promoter. He was always telling everyone how class he was. Remind you of anyone? And Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison, my boy. He's so cool. He did a lot of awful things, of course. For example, he electrocuted an elephant in public to show the DC electricity was worthy, because he was trying to get the contract for the suicide contract or whatever the fuck it was. For, you know, killing people, and I don't know how to say that properly. And Zeus, what's her name? Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey are meant to be sponsoring this podcast, and it's fucking frosty outside. I think that's why the camera lens is all fucked, because it's I think the water's gotten into it. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg, what a woman. She's another woman who used to be like a fucking ex-drug addict. And then she fucking was an absolute queen and worked her way to the top and was one of the biggest, best comedians of all time. She just did 10 years on The View, which is like some kind of talk show. Whoopi Goldberg. And she also introduced Billy Connolly for the first time. He got his big break through Whoopi Goldberg. It just goes to show, you know, like, even if you have an absolute crippling drug problem. I think she had 2 kids or a kid at the time as well. Crippling drug problem, awful relationship with, I think she had to sleep on the beach or something with her kid and stuff, and she's still like one of the most famous, successful people of all time. How the fuck did that work? You know? You knew? Is my face completely fucked out with fog? Fuck's sake. Drinking pints of coffee here. You know what I'm saying? So that's Whoopi Goldberg. She's one of my favourite people of all time. I remember, like, some of the earliest life things I ever read was Whoopi Goldberg, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Thomas Edison when I was really young, because Whoopi Goldberg had really bad dyslexia, and that was like, fuck, if Whoopi Goldberg can do stuff, so can I, you know? Because to me, like, not being able to read was just so heartbreaking, but I was like, fuck, Whoopi Goldberg's dyslexic, I can do it. And yesterday I found out Tommy Tiernan, my favourite comedian, has borderline personality disorder, which is the same disorder I have. So I'm just like, fuck, if Tommy Tiernan has the same, you know, like, mental disorder I have, there's no stopping me. Do you know what I mean? Like, because he's doing alright for himself. His best friend's Michael D. Higgins, the president, like, you know? So I don't know, man. Just the more and more you get on, the more you realise that people with more fucked up shit than you are doing better than you, and you're like, fuck. I don't have it as bad as I thought I did. And if they can do it, I can do it. All that crack, you know. Should we see? Will we have a little gawk and see what's going on in the world today? I'd like to, but the iPad's still gone for a sleep. So Thomas Edison, he used to work at the patent office, and he's notorious for stealing people's idea and stealing credit. He opened a big factory, like if you want to realize, like, if you're not sure who Thomas Edison is, just think of Elon Musk, and they're kind of the same thing but different eras, if you know what I mean. If you want to be super simplified and super general, they're all way ahead of their time and so on. The first recordings ever were made by Thomas Edison. The first audio recordings, they made it. He invented the whole fucking vinyl thing. They used to have wax discs, and they used to cut into the wax, and then they could play it back. And yeah, so the earliest recordings ever, like Thomas Edison being like, "Is this on? Is this working? Is this the telephone?" Yeah, absolutely badass. He was one of the, he was in the long list of inventors, you know, behind the television and stuff, but like there was a lot of people involved in that, you know what I mean, over different eras and all the rest of it. He invented the light bulb, as far as I know, and he was an absolute badass. Like, Tesla invented AC electricity, which is what we have in our houses right now, okay? And Edison invented DC electricity. Now, DC means direct current, which means if you touch it, you die, because it just electrocutes it. AC electricity, it's alternating current, also might mean bisexual. So if you're getting if you get electrocuted with AC electricity, which Tesla invented, it goes and then it's like on off on off on off. So you have a second to pull your hand away, you won't die with AC electricity. So that's why in all houses we have AC electricity, which Tesla invented. And at the time, it wasn't as profitable. Edison was endorsing DC electricity because it was less safe but more profitable. Why? Because he invented it. He had the patent. So in every home they were trying to put DC electricity, which was, you know, more dangerous to have in the home, but there was more money to be made from him. He would get the credit instead of this other Tesla lad. And I said Tesla worked for Edison for a little while. And then he got kind of annoyed because Tesla was stealing all the credit and shit. Yeah, Thomas Edison, class. Loved his wife as well, which is always nice. I always get real upset when celebrities, you know, like divorce their wives and shit, because I'm a bit of an old sweetheart, and I kind of like to believe in, you know, like, there's true love and all that shit, but all my heroes, nearly all of them end up divorced from their cheating on their wives. So there you are. Guess it's human nature. So I don't know. Is the answer to not get married? Who knows? Who knows what the answer is? Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So yeah, Thomas Edison, like, fucking top lad. Right, so listen, we're gonna have that part of the show now where you just say your little woes and problems. Alright? So this is your talking tree. This is the part to say where you cheated on your husband and all that shit. Alright, go for it. Alright, that'll be €50. Good man. Do you pay cash, do you? Mental health's not a cheap game, baby. You gotta pay up if you wanna have the love. Alright, we're gonna look into one or two Thomas Edison facts, and then we're gonna read the news, and we are all good. If the good Lord will provide, please turn on the iPad. No iPad today. Alright. Alright, we're gonna do the news. Alright, here we go. This is the news. So, would you rather hear... I'd rather hear about Thomas Edison. I don't really give a fuck about the news, to be honest. Oh man, Thomas Edison, my absolute hero, like, man. Thomas Edison. He's a lot more accessible than other geniuses like Albert Einstein, because Albert Einstein was an absolute god, but the thing, apparently he wasn't very nice to his family, and he married his cousin. But sure. Yeah. Anyway, Sherlock. All right, this lad, absolute badass. Thomas Edison, American inventor, not a known giver of fucks. Man, apparently he worked at the patent office and just robbed people's ideas. Like, how good, how baller is that? Alright, here we go. Thomas Edison was an American inventor, businessman, who has been described as America's greatest inventor. Oh my word. He developed many devices in fields such as electronic power, mass communication, sound recording, and motion pictures. The first film which Thomas Edison ever played was a recording he made of the sea, and he played it in a theatre. And like, you imagine going to the cinema, right, and there's just this wave coming towards you. Everyone ran out of the cinema screaming because they thought they were going to be drowned. There's always people fighting over, oh, he didn't invent the light bulb, oh, he did, oh, Jesus. Generally, with inventions, like, people tip away at inventions over, like, centuries, and then whoever puts the last piece of the puzzle in gets the credit, kind of thing. I know it's a bit mad, but sure, look. He's also mates with Alexander Graham Bell, Albert Einstein, Henry Ford, Joseph Swan, George, yada yada yada. Okay, so listen, this lad was around in 1877, and he lived till 1830. So, yeah, there you are. We got a possible list of inventions here. Like, he didn't just invent one thing, he was prolific. He had a whole factory of people working for him to create, like, the best inventions. Because he, just as, if you watch my time management episode, you'll understand that if he was just there by himself, he wouldn't be able to fucking talk to his wife because he'd be too fucking busy, you know what I mean? But he said to people like, right, 10 people, you work on the light bulb, and we're also going to fly in some lad from Japan whose great grandmother used to make light bulbs or something. Do you know what I mean? He attended public school for 12 weeks. He got kicked out for being... They thought he was completely stupid. Yeah. I don't know if Thomas Edison was dyslexic or not. I can't remember. I don't think he was. But basically he spent fuck all time in school. He was getting kicked out because he couldn't hear what the teacher was saying, because we talked about that earlier. He was pulled up by his ears by like a station master or something. He used to do chemical experiments in a laboratory, which was like a, do you know those kind of crates that you transport cars in and stuff? He turned one of those into a fucking laboratory, and Oh, Jesus. Oh, coffee's go crack, isn't it? Let's see. Quick fact about Thomas Edison. He was the youngest of 7 children. Who gives a fuck? He received 1,093 US patents. Alright, he was a prolific patent man. He was big, he knew business. A lot of people don't understand business, like Tesla. Tesla was an absolute genius, but he didn't understand business. Some people think he was autistic, which relates to some of his issues in dealing with people and why he wasn't as successful in his own time as Thomas Edison. Even though many people believe Tesla was smart or whatever, Thomas Edison, because he used other people and he used business, he's a communicator, he was able to become rich in his own time, and I think Tesla ended up broke because he wasn't as good as a communicator with people. So that's definitely something to think about, moving out of your safe zone and, you know, open up an inventor factory, and like, it's scalable. He wanted to be an inventor, you know, and he wanted to be the best, so he employed a team of inventors below him. Menlo Park was his, in 1876, was his kind of factory of inventors, and they'd do all sorts of mad shit in there, like work on the latest inventions that were upcoming. They did work on, you know, the light bulb and stuff. I think it might have been a tungsten light bulb. I can't quite remember the details, but apparently light bulbs were made too good, and they realised that if they want to make money, they're going to have to make them disposable. To keep people, as I said before, 75% of your customers are repeat customers, so they had to build, incorporate built-in obsolescence into light bulbs, which means they'll break after like 2 years. Same way your smartphone is built to break after 2 years, your battery is designed to run out, so that you'll buy another one. It's not like some malicious act or whatever. Like, people only want the latest phone for 2 years, and then it's time to move on to the next technology or whatever. He opened his first electrical station. That's fucking class. Because I think everyone had oil lanterns at the time, so that it was absolutely mind-blowing to go from like an oil lamp to have like a light just on by magic. It was absolutely fucking bonkers. And one of the big inventions he had to do was to invent batteries, which was a way of storing the electricity, because, you know, like, wires weren't invented as in like under the ground to everyone's house. So a lot of these things, you either had to have your own generator or else you had to do batteries. So he looked into it and said, listen, what do people need? Batteries, right? Get someone on our team doing this. And like this, none of this is within his comfort zone, like, you know what I mean? He was just shit at school. He had no other option other than to, if he wants to eat, he's gonna have to invent, because it's the only thing he fucking knows. He didn't have that safe place of working in a call center or something, because he was deaf. He couldn't fucking hear. So often people are just pushed into being absolute geniuses by not being accepted anywhere else. Like, I don't want to put mine in the same category or whatever, but I failed prolifically through school, so it forced me into music, because it was like the only thing I could do that people weren't telling me I was crap at night and day. So you kind of get forced into some things sometimes. Oh, the automobile industry began to grow. Okay, so Edison invented a battery for Henry Ford in 1912 because it needed the battery needed like an auto starter. I don't know if you know about cars, but they need like kind of like a spark to ignite the fuel to get the engine combusting and ticking over. So that was he like helped move the automobile industry forward. Henry Ford is another amazing person to look into. He invented the production line, which is how to instead of one person making everything themselves by hand, it's about working in a team. So maybe one person makes the wheel, another person makes the blue paint, and then they stick it all together. They have someone else who sticks it all together at the end. So one person's job is just to make blue paint, one person's job is just to make the wheels. Personally, I find it fucking head-wrecking to work that way, but it does work as regards teamwork. By the end of the 1920s, he was in his 80s on his second wife. Oh damn! Second wife! Fuck! Minna, who spent... they spent their time in Florida. Oh Jesus! And he became good friends with Henry Ford. So you'll notice it's all the big dogs hanging out with each other because they get really frustrated. It's very lonely at the top. Like people who have that vision to follow through, because the hardest part of having vision and doing your own thing is everyone's gonna. Even right now, everyone's telling me don't do the podcast. You know, you're gonna fuck up your life. You're gonna do this. You gotta do that. People always trying to tell you what to do, and if you don't know exactly where you're going, you're gonna end up believing them and being like, oh yeah, I'll just work in that call center because I'm taking too much of a risk here. And then it goes into the elephant killing where he electrocuted the elephant to promote. He was going to get the contract for, you know, killing people from the government for death. What's that thing called? Where you kill people? Capital punishment. Okay. So, might just mention one or two of his inventions for the crack. But yeah, he was relentless. Like, he didn't give a fuck. Rivalry. He had a rivalry with Nikola Tesla, and as I mentioned before, Nikola Tesla used to work for him. He was nearly deaf as an adult. He founded General Electronic Corporation. He invented the light bulb, telegraph, phonograph. He also was building the Americans' economy for the Industrial Revolution. Oh my god. Oh shit, his first wife died of a brain tumour, and then he married a 19-year-old girl. He married someone 19 years younger than him. Absolute baller. Mina. So he had his first wife, and they were together. They were shifting for like 13 years. And then, he married her when she was 16. Fucking madman. But yeah, she died, and he got a new wife. Absolute madman. Right, we're looking at the telegraph. Alright, forgot the phonograph. Does everyone know what a phonograph is? It's for recording sound. The light bulb, it was in the... Alright, so Edison's like a top lad, as you can probably tell, even if I didn't say anything else for this podcast. Thomas Edison, he was a man for getting stuff done. As you can tell, he was a man to get stuff done. He invented the motion picture in 1896. We've talked about that. Henry Ford job, no bother. He's got a few patents there. Patents is when you say like, I invented that, that's mine. And if someone wants to use that patent or idea, they have to pay you like €2. War of the Currents was in 1885. That's the thing I was talking about, AC versus DC electricity. The thing I was talking about with the electrocute the elephant to show that electricity could be used for capital punishment, that was in 1903, if you're interested in that. And that was on New York's Coney Island. He died in 1933, and did he do anything else? Oh, the camera died. Sure, what would you be doing if the camera worked? Like, you just wouldn't know not what to be doing with yourself. If you had a working camera, you'd be going mad with all the things. Alexander Graham Bell, Nikola Tesla, Henry Ford, all other people to check out on. Alright, we're getting into the news. It's time for the news. Today on the news. Right. Mr. iPad's still asleep, no bother. The phone's on 9%, but we'll see where we go down. Alright, have we got news today? Okay. World news. This is the Vegan Stephen podcast. €1 billion selling confidence, run for president, selling doing the old abundance job. Alright, we got a little bit of world news here. Would you be interested in some world news? Would you try world news at a party? Okay. Okay, let's have to get into it. I'm trying to. Okay, here we go. Cliff face challenge to rescue Ethiopian church paintings. You heard it here first. Next, we got far right network orchestrated SYNAGO Signo George SYNAGOGUE attacks, FBI says. And we got leaked cables reveal scale of Iran's influence in Iraq. Oh my lord. Oh my word. Girl, you can't be serious. I am serious. Oh jeez. We are going absolutely bonkers here in the Vegan Stephen podcast. For anyone who is not watching the video right now, the video has gone absolutely bananas, and we are holding on for dear life with the Vegan Stephen podcast here. Vegan Stephen is he's just talking away and he's hoping for the best. Bless him. He's just one lad against the world. And he's back. Vegan Stephen podcast. Oh god. So that's The Guardian. The Guardian says Hong Kong protesters wary over elite troops clearing roadblocks. There you are. Alright. In case anyone wants to know what that was of course an absolute gallon of paint. Okay. It's all anything can happen here at the Vegan Stephen podcast. We do all the things. Alright. Now, Guardian one day ago. Show no mercy. Documents reveal details of China's Xinjiang decisions. Alright. Argentina's new president vows to legalise abortion. That's The Guardian, 16 hours ago. Venice Council. Flooded moments after rejecting climate crisis plan. Alright, so Venice and climate change are having the crack. Now I'm only getting news off The Guardian. I don't know what the deal with that is. But sure, look. We'll have another little look. And there we go. Bangladesh files in plane loads of onions aimed national outcry over shortage. Bangladesh flies in plane loads of onions aimed national outcry over shortage. Okay, I think I'm wrong here, but it's looking like Bangladesh has no onions and they have to fly them in. Alright, that's what I don't know what actually happened, but that's my perception of the news. Austria's foreign minister labels China's treatment of Uyghurs disturbing. UIGHURS, Uyghurs disturbing. There you are. And here we go. While Trump stands by, the world's tyrants are trying to make the world safe. Okay. And most dangerous countries in the world for 2020 revealed. Somalia and Libya are ... We'll never know. Okay. Express 20 hours ago says, end of the world. How 900-year-old Pope prophecy matches Mayan calendar. Fuck. Alright. Now, and the Guardian again 6 hours ago. High depths in low yields push Canada's farmers back to brink. Alright. Now, do we have a little bit of Irish news? Irish news. Or have we go to Russia today? So we'll see what's going on in Russia today. I've been told it's a reputable news source, so we'll see what happens. 3 hours ago, India paid advances for Russia's 400 missiles delivery to be completed. Alright. 21 hours ago, Russia Today. Turkey's Russian made S-400S on combat duty by spring, Moscow confirms. I don't know what 400Ss are. Either they're a tank or some kind of rocket. I can't quite tell by the picture. Counter-extremism unit raid martial arts event in Moscow. Counter-extremism. Fucking hell. How do you counter extremists? You get a martial, you start invading martial arts events in Moscow. I don't know. Forbes, whoever they are, 6 hours ago. Why Iran's internet shut down? A stark warning for Russia. Alright. India Today, 8 hours ago. All roads lead to Putin's. Russia provides mood music for Donald Trump. Okay. And then we have Made for Minds 1 day ago. Teachers of Russia brings modern education to rural schools. Alright. Okay. And then we're into Irish news. Today in Ireland. So the camera did shit itself with fog and now it looks like it's back. But it's still being a little bit glitchy. So I think if I stand still, you won't notice that it's not doing a new frame every second. This is Irish news, and this is from The Irish News, which is 2 days ago. This is old Irish news. Patrick Murphy. Those advocating a united Ireland need to move away from ... Oh, I do not care about Irish news. Okay, excuse me. I'm trying to be professional. Independent.ie, 20 hours ago. I kicked him hard in the ribs. Katie, 17, awarded for bravery after a karate kick. Alright. Do we have anything new? 22 hours ago. One man drowns. Another has lucky escape after cars slip off pier. Okay. 9 hours ago. Hero, quotation. Girl, 13, fights for life after saving baby from terrifying machete attack. Okay. And what are those vegans up to now? We're going to find out. Vegan news. Oh, I have to get into my duck news as well. We did a poll yesterday to find out what's going on with ducks. I'll have to look up, see how it's doing. Oh, alright. I typed in vegan news, and I'm getting news at the very top from 3 weeks ago. So there's not a whole lot going on in the vegan world as far as this is concerned. As far as the internet's concerned, elite athletes are going vegan. Will it help you? 3 days ago. 2 days ago. Vegetarians and vegans share the best turkey alternatives to try for Thanksgiving. Okay. I've never been interested in food in any way really, so that's just me being bored. But we'll keep going. Milena's hidden gems for vegans and vegetarians. That's the Philippine Trader. Okay. Alright. That was a lot of fucking bullshit. Sorry. I'll try to be more nice. Okay. So let's look in. We did some. Okay. I asked the Vegan Stephen listeners how. I asked you, can ducks be trusted? And the Vegan Stephen listeners said outright, in a ratio of 60%, no, never. Now 40% of you said ducks can be trusted if they're sober. Okay, so 40% of you guys said ducks can be trusted if they're sober. 60%, an overwhelming majority, said no, never. You can never trust a duck. Okay, and Vegan Stephen is at the cutting edge of news, as everyone knows. And we've asked more questions, done more investigating behind the scenes, and we have asked how much money does a duck owe you? Okay, and there's two options. €5 was option A, or else no, more money than that was option 2. Okay, so an overwhelming 20% or underwhelming 20% said a duck owes me €5 or less, and 80% of the Vegan Stephen listeners said that no, more money than that. Okay, so people are they're sick of ducks asking for loans of money. They're sick of ducks quacking. Everyone knows ducks are cunts, alright? It's just, we can pretend like you live in this charade as long as we like, but at the end of the day it just comes down to it. Ducks are selfish, you know? And I for one am not going to stand for ducks anymore. I've had it. This is the Vegan Stephen podcast. Okay, so just for the crack, so we mentioned Tom. We're running out of time here. So, what did we talk about today? We talked about Thomas Edison. All right. We talked about moving out of your safe zone. All right. So, Thomas Edison, anytime he ever met anything, he was like, "I am the best inventor you've ever met. If you want something invented, I am the man to do it." Okay? Vegan Stephen is a man of action. Okay. That's it. Vegan Stephen is a man of action, inspired by the work of Thomas Edison and Whoopi Goldberg. Man, Whoopi Goldberg's fucking funny ass comedian. She said she was people often don't realise that to be a comedian you have to have fucking unreal social intelligence. Because you can make a joke and someone might laugh, but to make a consistent a room of people laugh for an hour, just out of words coming out of your mouth, is it's a fine act. So Whoopi Goldberg got a call from Steven Spielberg saying, "I want to see your act. Can you come? I want to see your live show. Can you come to? You can come to my house and do it for me." And she's like, "Well, why didn't you just come see the show?" And he's like, "You can't make it." So she goes to this Steven Spielberg's house, whoever fuck's gaff it was, big film producer lad. does her live stand-up show in front of him with an audience of just him, and he's like, yeah, I like it. Anything else? And she was like, anything else? Yeah, it's this other comic thing I was working on. Anyway, from that interview / performance, one-on-one comedy show, she got big film roles out of it. So that's fucking unreal. Man, how good is Whoopi Goldberg? Anyone see Sister Act? I will follow him wherever he may go. Da, 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 da. Sister Act. Ba, 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 ba. Dressed up as a nun. Whoopi Goldberg as a nun. Comedy fucking genius. Alright. So listen, I'm off. I've left you with the wonderful words of Thomas Edison. As I said, he worked indirectly with loads of people throughout time. He did all the things. Alright, so really, and as I always say, like there's not much difference between you, Whoopi Goldberg, Thomas Edison, and all the rest of it. We're all, it's all down to, like neurological habits that we develop and so on. A lot of these people were down on their luck, so they had no choice, but to become like a world-class comedian, or no choice to become a world-class inventor, because they did shit in school, or they had whatever situations happen to them, so they couldn't take the easy route. They couldn't, when they didn't have an option to do that master's degree and take that job in a call centre, because they couldn't get into that master's degree and the call centre didn't want them. So taking the easy way out, or at least the first option that comes your way, is, according to Whoopi Goldberg and Thomas Edison, may not be the best way to do it. I have been your host, Vegan Stephen. This is the #1 vegan podcast. It is every day. Thank you. Hold your applause, hold your applause. No, it was you. I couldn't have done it without you guys. I couldn't do it without you guys. Oh my god. I would like to thank my lawyer, that woman who massages my feet every night. I don't know who she is. I'd like to thank here's a list of people who pissed me off. Alright, goodbye. I'm gone.